Let's go. Who the? Oh my God. Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn just saved Kevin Owens.
What in the hell is going on?
I don't. Why did Sami do that? They're bringing out the backboard here for Shane McMahon, who just launched himself 20 feet off the cell.
Ladies and gentlemen, what was that? Hell in a Cell left us with quite a cliffhanger and a lot of questions to be answered. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, putting everything behind them and joining forces. Holy crap, what a cliffhanger.
That was pretty awesome, right?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad for a way to end a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I mean, I don't know. These guys hated each other for so long, so I'm really curious to see what's going to be up come SmackDown this Tuesday.
It's probably the most excited post pay-per-view that I've been to see the following nights, either Raw or SmackDown.
Right, and I mean, social media is buzz. Everyone's talking about it. Like, why, Sami? Why? Where does he go from here? I mean, you know, Kevin Owens was the biggest bully to Sami Zayn, powerbombed him so many times, you know, and to me, it just leaves me scratching my head. What caused Sami to flip? And what are your thoughts? What do you think? What do you think caused Sami to flip?
I got so many questions here. First, what if he didn't flip? What if we still see face Sami that's just like, I'm just such a good friend. You know what I mean? Like, they can ruin this like that.
I couldn't see you get hurt after all we've been through, you know, and I still love you.
And then KO still fucks him over.
He's just like, stay away from me. You don't know who you are, but I love you, man. It's like this really complicated relationship, more than him and Jericho. Jeez. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's going to be tied in with Sami Zayn's frustration. You know, doesn't get any pushes, doesn't get opportunity on SmackDown.
I hope so. I hope that's what it is.
That seems like the easiest safe bet for me. I guess I could see that's where it's going. And he's basically going to sit back and say, hey, you know, I watched Kevin Owens since he's come here, and he's basically taken everything that, you know, he's had given to him, or, you know, he's just kind of climbing over people, knocking things down, and it worked for him. And Sami Zayn's trying to be the nice guy, and he's not getting anywhere. So maybe you decided at this point in time, you know, he's got to kind of follow in the footsteps of Kevin Owens. But you did see when he did do it, it still seemed like it hurt him or it tore him up to kind of make this decision. He was very concerned. I think it was a hard decision for him to make nonetheless, but it's going to be interesting, and people are going to be tuning in for SmackDown. So
I thought his reaction and his emotion after it happened was good. It left me going, is it his attempt to do what Kevin Owens did, where he would give that blank glare after Kevin Owens would do something brutal, or was it like you said? Is he torn? Is it bothering him? Is it eating at him that he did it? Is he unsure of the decisions he's made? But I'm really, really excited to see what happens on Tuesday. Did you catch Talking Smack after?
I did watch Talking Smack. You know, there was some decent, I guess, segments on it. I think Baron Corbin a little bit. I was watching him. It was funny. And his was all right, too, but you can kind of tell that he still has some work to do in his promo skills, a bit of improvisation. But for the most part, yeah, it was all right. I think AJ did pretty good, too. It's so funny, though. I watched him on there, and I just find, like, now that he's not heel AJ, he's completely different. It's like flipping a switch on and off. He's, like, compassionate now, and, yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's weird. But he put his foot in his mouth. Did you hear that thing about Vegas? Where he kind of compared, what did he compare? Sami Zayn being like odd, and we're living in a weird time, and he compared it to what happened in Vegas, and I was just like, ooh, and you could hear him just kind of burying himself, and Renee and what's his name there, the dude who I can never remember his name,
Rosenberg.
Yeah, they were looking at each other like, what the fuck? But no,
there were a few moments of that. That's what I get at Talking Smack sometimes. They do really good, but sometimes people will trip up over words and. Despite that, I guess, I was kind of picking on Baron Corbin, but he's improvising. The guy's not the best speaker on the mic anyway, so...
Yeah.
He did the best he could, and they all did the best they could, so...
But in particular, AJ kind of, hinted at that, him and Shane against KO and Sami, which I had missed when I was watching it originally, and then I saw everybody tweeting about it, and I was like, what the hell? I just watched it and really realize it. I mean, he hinted at it, but hardly. I don't want to see KO and Sami Zayn become some sort of tag team. I really hope they don't. I just want them to be allies. Why do they have to be a tag team,
Well, I guess I'm kind of trying to look at it this way, right? Kevin Owens, if he's done with Shane McMahon, then maybe they're going to go for the tag titles. Not too sure, but I think where this is leading, and I think it's to your point of AJ Styles talking about teaming with Shane. We do have Survivor Series coming up, right?
Yeah, that's what everybody was saying. Yeah,
exactly. So we have AJ and Shane, and then on the other end we're gonna have KO and AJ Styles and Shane, KO and Zayn, and then who knows? Maybe Baron Corbin on one side, and Ty Dillinger on the other.
It's boring. I don't want to see another tag team. I didn't like, even when KO was with Jericho, I didn't like seeing them tag up at pay-per-views. It was like, they should just both be doing singles. KO should be involved with the WWE title. Sami should be involved in the US title, and they should just kind of be allies backstage. Like, this doesn't have to necessarily go right into a program. It should just be part of the general who's with who. You know what I mean?
I feel you. And even being outside of each other's ring, outside each other with the matches for each other, just to watch each other's back. And, exactly what you're describing to me reminds me of vintage DX, when you had Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Now, when those guys were together initially in 97, they rarely had any tag team match. You had Shawn Michaels with the championship, Triple H with the European championship, and they'd be out doing their matches, they'd be out watching each other's backs, they would be very rarely tagging together, doing their own thing. But yeah, and it was really well done. And we saw a lot of that in the Hart Foundation as well, too. And I guess it's a little bit, rarer to see these days. But, we'll see. It's still early. But again, this is our post-Hell in a Cell match. We're show. We're going to run through the matches. We already jumped into the Hell in a Cell match. We talked about the outcome itself. Now, what did you think of the match itself?
Oh, I'm not going to lie, man. I was pretty uneasy watching them on top of that cell. Like, I was thinking, okay, they're obviously... I figured they were going to go through it. I was surprised they didn't. I'm glad they didn't. And I'm just glad that nothing bad happened, because it looked sketchy up there. Like, it was freaking me out. Like, I couldn't tell if they looked like they were really throwing each other hard at the top there and, like, trying to break through it. And then I was just worried that one of them would, take a wrong step and fall off the side. I don't know. It was freaking me out. For the first time ever, I was like, shit, I really hope nobody gets hurt.
Well, that's it. And I think they reinforced the top, I'm sure of it. They told them where to wrestle, what spots to stay in.
They stayed in that one quadrant.
Yeah, there's these two quadrants that they were in, but one of them took the big bumps. And I don't know. For me, I think if they wouldn't have gone on top of the cell, it would have been a kind of an okay Hell in a Cell match for me. I think on the inside, a few spots, Kevin Owens always throws himself through a table. It was pretty cool, his cannonball, but right when he did his cannonball, a piece from the table was falling down in his head, and he kind of pushed it with his hands. It kind of like killed the whole moment for me. But I'm a bit
me too.
But I think once they got out, Shane was having trouble cutting the chain. I was wondering if he was going to fuck up and not be able to do it, but he pulled it off. I bet you he tried earlier in the day just to make sure he could. But yeah, and they got on top. Really cool. But again, I think it was really, like you said, I was on the edge of my seat on the top. You didn't know if someone was going to break through. You felt like something was going to happen. Someone was going to get thrown off. And then when kind of Shane and Kevin kind of start coming down the cage and they're hanging on the side, I'm a little bit like, oh man, like, okay. So the first Hell in a Cell is maybe one of my favorites with Michaels and The Undertaker, and Michaels took a pretty big bump at the time.
Yes,
and that was,
and it was a real table too. So like it's a big difference from what KO did last night with Shawn.
Yeah, and Michaels also has the crimson mask on at the same time. But, Michaels basically went to the table the same way Kevin Owens did.
He had the what on? The crimson mask?
Crimson mask. It's covered in blood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, stealing it from JR. And, but yeah, I don't know, Kevin Owens bumped to the table. I don't know, man. It wasn't like, it's cool when a table breaks, but he was only a little bit higher than the top rope. I mean, I don't know.
I agree. He the way that he fell looked pretty painful. Like, it looked like he went in himself because he kind of, like, fell too much on his back. But you could tell that those tables were like, they were supported underneath.
Oh, and Shane's too. When Shane went through, he held like a cushion underneath it. It was like, poosh.
It did look like a harder fall than the first one against The Undertaker, but I felt like it took away from it. Like, we've seen that spot.
Yeah, that's it. We've seen that same spot over and over. Unless he, like, only way I would have been like, that was sick. Well, it was still cool, but the way I would have been really happy with it, if he actually would have nailed Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, I'm not going to be upset with Sami Zayn pulling him off because the storyline, but I agree. Like, it kind of normalized a cell jump, and I don't want that to be normal. I wanted it to be special. I would have much preferred I don't know, something else, anything else. Like we've seen Shane do the coast to coast, and we've seen him jump off a cell. Not that it's not awesome to see. It's just let it be awesome that one time,
Yeah. Oh, there you go. So I think we've been spending a little bit of time talking about the Hell in the Cell match. A lot more matches to go through. So let's go to the beginning of the card and start down. We had our opening pre-match show. Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin, clear winners there, knocking off the Hype Bros, Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder. No tag team heel turn with these guys. I guess they'll continue to self-destruct over the next few weeks. And Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin, decent match, winning, pick up the win. And again, I was going back to my predictions this week. I think they're going to be in line for a tag team title shot. Mm-hmm. They probably won't win, at least not right away, because the Usos just won the tag team title. They kind of sent it back and forth between each other, the New Day and Usos, so I don't think they're going to pass it off again. But we'll see. It's a good team. And, I know you believe it's a waste of Shelton Benjamin. So do I. But at the same time, at least they're using him and we get to watch him wrestle instead of being buried into the roster.
I feel like it's a waste of all four of them. All four of them would be better off without this. That's just me. Maybe not Zack Ryder.
I think Chad Gable needs it. I think ultimately. He doesn't need it, but what else you can do with Chad Gable? Put him in a tag team with Benjamin. You can kind of believe it. It's kind of the new team angle, I guess. And
he should have been Kurt Angle's son, like you said. It should have been him.
I was reading an interview recently where Angle was talking online, and people were saying, oh yeah, he should have been Gable. And he understands because Gable kind of looks more like him, resembles him more. And ultimately, he says the decision that was made was that Chad Gable doesn't need it, and Jason Jordan needs it because he can wrestle, but he's kind of lacking that, charisma.
Je ne sais quoi. Yeah.
Yeah. So Chad Gable kind of doesn't really necessarily need it. So I ultimately would think it would be cool if their test got switched in the lab or something at WrestleMania where it's actually Chad Gable and Jason Jordan turns on Angle. Or I don't know.
That's got to be an upcoming storyline down the line. It's got to be.
We'll see. We'll see where it leads, So I think Angle is hinting at this storyline leading to his return. So I don't know if it ended up being against The Miz or who it would be, but maybe Jason Jordan himself. Maybe he gets frustrated at being Angle's son, so he beats the crap out of Angle. Maybe that's going to be it. So we'll end up seeing. But yeah. So next up on the list, the Usos versus New Day for the Tag Team Championships. Oh, great way to open the pay-per-view. Have two stellar teams. Bringing it again. These guys always deliver. Hell of a match. And I swear to God, it has to be a record. Xavier Woods with the most kendo stick shots in history of WWE.
It was ridiculous, man.
It was disturbing to watch at some point.
Yeah, there was a few instances when, when they had him handcuffed and hanging from the turnbuckle outside. That was pretty cool. Inside the ring, too, when he was handcuffed and he was just taking him in his abs. And you could even see... That must have been hurting because he started putting up his leg, And that was, honestly, man, that match was, that set the tone for the pay-per-view.
Might have been the match of the night for me.
It was definitely the match of the night. It was better than Shane and KO. The outcome was perfect. I was surprised. I didn't think the Usos going into it were going to walk out of it as champs, but they had me... They confused me, or... Is that the right word? They tricked me in some of those kickouts. I wasn't expecting some of those kickouts.
Yeah. You got the double splash onto Big E, kicked out at one point, and it was pretty impressive showing by both the individuals. I thought Kofi was going to get involved somehow, take the stick and poke somebody through the hole or some shit, but no. And now I'm curious here because this was the last time that Usos had an opportunity at the tag titles, right? That's what they said. This is it. But they never said this is the last time the New Day has an opportunity to tag titles. And they do have a rematch clause. So what does that mean? Does the fact that they're saying that it's the last time they ever have a match it totally nulls the rematch clause? Or do they still have that rematch? So that'll be something that's also interesting to see, though. We'll be surprised to see both Woods and Big E out for... Not out, but at least not wrestling this coming week. Definitely got to rest up. I don't know if you saw Xavier Woods.
Yes, I did, yeah. Wow.
Looks pretty raw. I bet you too, knowing him too, he was probably like, yeah, Hell in a Cell, beat me so much with a kendo. I bet he was totally about just beat the crap out of me with a kendo stick.
I'm sure he's regretting that halfway through that match. He's probably like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like you said about Kofi, when they tied up, I think it was Jey Uso? Can't tell.
You know better than I do.
I know Jay is John in real life, and I don't remember the other one's name. So the other one, not the one on Total Divas, but when they put him in the corner with the kendo sticks, first I thought that was amazing. Mm-hmm. For some reason, my mind just went to, holy shit, how cool would it be? And I know it's crazy, but if Kofi pulled the kendo sticks out and turned on New Day.
Oh, come on. That would have been...
Oh, come on. How sick would that have been, though?
How would that have, like, him pulling the sticks out would have cost them the end of the match? Like, be more
I don't
creative
know.
than that.
I think not costing the match, but just kind of like pulled it out behind New Day's back. So New Day was not aware of it. But the fans all knew that Kofi was starting to turn, you know? Something along those lines.
The handcuff segment on Big E was a bit confusing. Like, they put on one of his hands, but they didn't attach it to the rope, it seemed. And then the ref had a handcuff key immediately and was unhandcuffing him. And,
I didn't even follow it that much.
It was a bit strange. But I guess the whole purpose was to handcuff Xavier Woods, so they got that done. And that was effective.
Overall, though, like you said, match of the night. It was a great way to kick it off. It was long. It was like almost half an hour.
22 minutes.
You got it at 22 minutes?
22 minutes.
It was really well done, man. And it was like edge of your seat. I saw the tweet you threw out. Can these guys just wrestle forever? I agree with you. They are definitely... Both those tag teams are just... They got the tag team division on lock. Both of them do.
Yeah. Second longest match on the card. Longest match was actually Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon at 39 minutes.
Fuck. Dude, how far did it go back? Because my feed froze when he was putting him... when he powerbombed him on the stairs. So I had to log on to my... to your WWE account and watch it on computer. And I was like 35 minutes past 11 when I stopped watching it, so...
You actually stopped watching it?
When it was done, I mean, 35 past 11, 11:35,
okay,
yeah.
okay,
So
fair enough.
I'm assuming it went like, close to about 30 minutes over. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Definitely good for pay-per-view.
For sure.
All right, moving on. We got Randy Orton defeating Rusev Machka.
Yeah.
So this is the one that I got wrong. I think you got it wrong as well, too. I really felt like Rusev...
Oh, we did even worse than I thought. I thought we had 5 of 7. Shit, I got 3 of 7. You got 4 of 7.
Which one did I get? 1, 2...
But
yeah,
I mean,
guess so,
the
yeah.
AJ Baron Corbin, we didn't know Ty Dillinger was in there. I think that would have put us both picking Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I definitely was going to even text you and say, hey, but whatever. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
But yeah, Randy Orton, Rusev, pretty vanilla match, meat potatoes, straightforward, not too exciting. Not Rusev's fault, I just find Randy Orton kind of stale. But again, I really thought Rusev needed the win. I think everybody thought Rusev needed the win. Randy Orton is just, the WWE's guy to some extent. He's protected. He took a bunch of losses in the distant past with Jinder Mahal. So I guess they're building him back up. But I think Rusev really needed it, and that was my logic. I really thought the WWE wasn't that dense to make him lose again. And he loses again, and just the way, too, they did it. I mean, he really... Again, you and I were talking yesterday, and I think when he grabbed Orton's hands, he should have put him into the camel clutch.
Yeah, what is his... What's his
the accolade? The
accolade. Yeah.
And he should have made him fall asleep. And that way, if he falls asleep, he doesn't tap out. He kind of keeps face a little bit.
Yeah.
And they should have had him win. I think Randy Orton winning, confused. I just don't understand where this is going. It's kind of like the equivalent of the Bray Wyatt Finn Balor feud on Raw. It's just going on forever and not making lots of sense.
I agree. I liked the way that he put him into the accolade. I thought it was kind of like the accolade out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was cool. But he should have won with it.
Yeah, and I'd like to see Rusev is... I don't know. I could have seen it as... It could have been a double turn. Like you said, Randy Orton... I already forgot that he lost to Jinder Mahal. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't need to be rebuilt. He's Randy fucking Orton. He's amazing regardless of losses.
Yeah.
He should be putting guys over. He should be doing the Dolph Ziggler jobs.
He should be now.
With a little bit more backstory than I don't know. It's just really upsetting, and I'd hate to see Rusev leave, but part of me kind of hopes that he leaves because this is bullshit. Like, it's just.
Yeah, now he's not. He's like sulking on Twitter as well too, on social media. He's calling himself a loser almost. So
I don't know, unless they're gonna really bring him down to bring him back.
Bring him back with Lana, man, and let's just start over. Let's just do it. It's gonna take a couple of weeks to people to forget about all that shit, but I don't know what happened to this guy. I don't know if he did something backstage or if it all kind of happened when they announced their wedding, right? Ever since then, just that he has not been the same Rusev. So
No, I know. That's horrible. It's a shame. I love him.
It is. And speaking of the Dolph Ziggler jobbing, we have Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler. Obviously, we knew Bobby Roode was going to go over in this match. I don't know if I would even call it an exciting match to any degree. It was pretty much the go to the bathroom match of the night. You know, go take your piss, go get your beer, go get a snack.
Was that the buffer? Did they put that between right before the main event?
Right before the main event, which
Yeah.
I predicted. They usually throw a match like that in there. And, again, it's interesting that Dolph Ziggler's music cut out when he came out and he just walked out. But it's kind of, Dolph Ziggler's always doing this for every new talent or any talent they're pushing. He will job to them and do it over and over and over, and it'll almost be a copy and paste of the same promos.
Yep.
And, I don't know what they're thinking. Like, why put this on the pay-per-view? We all know what's going to happen. Do this on SmackDown. Give him somebody bigger to face at the pay-per-view. Or at least switch it up, because it's just like we know what Dolph Ziggler's role is, and it's like it's the most predictable match. We all know the recipe. We know what's going to happen. To me, it's just like it's really dumb to me that the WWE keeps doing this with Dolph Ziggler and expects the fans to be fooled.
Honestly, man, I got to keep telling myself that I'm watching a child's program. That's what I kept thinking when that match was going on. Dolph Ziggler's moveset is boring. Like zigzag, famouser, super kicks every couple minutes. It's he's frustrating. And then at the end of the match, he attacks Bobby Roode. So it's like, is this going to continue? Are we going to see more of it? There's not really much more to say. I feel like these kind of matches are better suited for main event, or like I'm talking about Saturday main event, or like
just on SmackDown. I mean,
house shows,
or at least on SmackDown. I'd be fine with it just being a SmackDown match. And I liked the fact that it ended with a roll up. It felt like they were trying to play who could expose the other guy's ass, but
it was kind of a gay ending. I thought it was like
I like roll up endings out of nowhere.
I like roll up endings out of nowhere. That was roll up, butthole.
Yeah, I guess I remember Michaels versus Jericho WrestleMania. Oh man, I'm sorry, folks. I don't know which one they exactly wrestled at, but when they did fight, it was awesome. They had a really good match back and forth, and then in the end, Michaels did a clutch roll up to Jericho and stole the pin. It was pretty sweet ass.
I like. I don't want to see 5 of them and a whole bunch of ass, but. I don't know. The match, I don't know. It was just sour. I was on my phone for most of it, to tell you the truth. So
cool. All right, so moving along, we got Baron Corbin, AJ Styles, and Ty Dillinger, who's inserted into this match. All you got to do is go talk to Daniel Bryan with the cool catchphrase, and somehow you'll get into the title picture. But at the same time, I think he earned it. I mean, it earned it because he got the pin on Baron Corbin. I was kind of confused why he wasn't in the picture to begin with. But it totally changed everything, obviously. I mean, at this point, he can take the pin, and Baron Corbin can get the win, and AJ Styles walks out of it cleanly. AJ Styles took a lot of bumps in that match, got his butt kicked, a lot of high spots, or at least a lot of jumps and bumps for him. And, Baron Corbin ended out with the win. It was an okay match, pretty decent.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was okay. I'm not too thrilled about it. I'm not a Baron Corbin fan, so him having the title, not too thrilled about it. But obviously, it's going to happen sooner or later. And from here on out, not sure what will happen because, AJ Styles was having the open challenge. Now Baron Corbin's got it. They're going to apparently have their rematch on Tuesday. Are they going to take it right away from Baron Corbin again? Or will he hold on to it for a while until the next pay-per-view? Or for... what's going to happen? What's the future of AJ Styles, and what is the future of Baron Corbin? Will AJ Styles go after the WWE title? He hinted at it last night, so not exactly sure. Yeah, it would be nice.
It was definitely a good match. I find Baron Corbin always shines in triple threats. I don't feel like he's that great of a one-on-one fighter. He needs to be carried a bit more. I'll start with the cons of the triple threat, I guess. There wasn't much going on with the 3 of them. There was always one guy being thrown out and then 2 in the ring, which was a little bit... I expected a little bit more from Ty Dillinger and AJ in that sense. But like you said, AJ took a ton of bumps. They were awesome. He's amazing. The ending was perfect. Baron Corbin kicking AJ out of the ring.
Brutal,
That meme, that's going to be a meme for a long time.
Yeah.
I saw it compared to Scar in Lion King. I saw it compared to Sparta from 300. It was just he looked so frustrated. He's just like, get the fuck out of my ring, you know.
Well, the
it was
first
good.
one missed, and he was just like, okay, I'm not missing this time, and he just really gave him a good kick.
But from a psychological look, from storytelling, it was perfect. Everybody stayed face. I don't know what it means for Baron Corbin going forward or AJ Styles, but I liked the match. It was definitely
I guess it was due. Baron Corbin was going to get that title sooner or later, or a title. Let's see if he can keep his mouth shut backstage and hold on to it. But for me, I just don't know. They're going to have these titles being passed back and forth from so many people, and this goes across the board, except for Jinder. But AJ, will he win it? I don't know. Remember, I was telling you the scenario last week that maybe Shinsuke goes on to win the title, or AJ Styles goes to wins the Royal Rumble, or maybe it'll be vice versa, or I don't know. I think the Royal Rumble is going to be interesting this year to see who wins. So I'm getting a little bit excited for it. I know it's.
Let's hope it stays interesting. I hope it doesn't get too obvious, So
yeah. No, I feel you there. All right, moving along. We had Charlotte Flair defeating Natalya, but by disqualification. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, that was a brutal match, man. Honestly, it was, I don't know, the most uninteresting women's match I've seen in a really long time.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't overly exciting. I wish it was more technical, more versus, more submissions. But again, obviously Charlotte's going to come on top of this feud. She will win the title. I just didn't know, or think that they were going to continue this program further. So I guess they will have Charlotte Flair and Natalya continue to go at it, at least for the time being. I don't know if at the pay-per-view they're going to, next pay-per-view of Survivor Series, they're going to do a women's Survivor Series match, or they'll do a championship match. We'll end up seeing what happens. There was no Carmella, no cash-in. So again, it's pretty much just an okay match with a to be continued at the end.
Yeah, it was. I found it was. I guess we got to get used to it, but I just really wasn't expecting that ending. It kind of came out of nowhere too. Like Natalya wasn't even on the camera, and all of a sudden she just smashes her in the leg. I guess they're gonna play on the leg injury, blah blah blah. I don't know. It was a letdown. That's all I got.
She used a chair, and she kind of used it in a sloppy way that it made it look more dangerous than it was.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So.
I was really. I tweeted out. I smelled the cash in. I was really expecting a cash in last night.
But even at the end after the chair shots?
No. Before, going into it, because I thought Charlotte was going to win or Natty was going to win. I don't know. I just really felt Carmella was going to get involved. I'm guessing if they do some sort of Survivor Series thing, maybe we'll see a cash in there. That could be interesting. I just
feel like they delayed this cash so much and they have not talked about it anymore and kept everything hush. That I'm quite certain that it's going to be a successful cash in at this point.
I agree, and that's part of it is that we didn't see anything about Carmella for the last little while. So
they're making us forget, and then it's going to be
exactly
FAB, and it's going to be screaming. She's going to come out and she's going to win the title, and then SmackDown Women's Division is going to be the most annoying shit ever for a while until Paige comes and takes the title off her. I hope she does it right away too.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only way I'd be cool with Paige coming. It blows my mind that Paige is coming back after all the shit she's been doing and done. And I guess it's because of the movie they were making, but there's so many people who do little things and get fired. And Paige can have guys come on the championship and fuck her on camera and do cocaine with Alberto Del Rio, who talks shit about the company, goes to TNA and sits in the front seat with a lucha mask on to hide that she's there. It's just this girl can get away with murder apparently. So we'll see.
I have a bit of a feeling that they couldn't fire her if it was just her. I think they would have maybe fired her. But because Xavier Woods was involved in it, New Day is such a huge hit. And then, what happened with Charlotte right after. And I think they kind of had an idea that more was coming. That if they would have fired Paige, they would have had to fire all of those people.
Oh, yeah.
And that would have been
because they would have been like, why'd you fire Paige, but you didn't fire Xavier? Well,
exactly.
Xavier doesn't have anybody busting a nut on the championship. That's so bad. And I know you can make the argument, think about Triple H. He's probably had his dick sucked by Stephanie with it on. Probably. And Michaels probably did all kinds of dirty shit with it. Probably. They all have.
It's on video.
Don't put it on video. Or don't release. Don't let it get leaked.
It's probably on video, too. It's just that video
in a vault. Yeah.
Exactly.
But anyways, we'll see what happens with that. But again, Carmella will cash in most likely, and I hope that if Paige does return, she quickly snacks that title back off of Carmella. I don't want to see her holding it very long. I don't want to see promos every week of her being, I'm the champion in your house, and then she's thinks she's the shit and she can't wrestle, but she keeps the title every week. It's like SmackDown used to be about women's wrestling, and I don't want it to be about Carmella running her mouth and just sneakily holding on to the title every week. And I mean, anyways.
Unfortunately, I think they're probably going to do that.
Yeah, probably.
It is what it is. I guess that brings us to Shinsuke and Jinder.
Right, last match on the card, or the one that we have to talk to.
Yep.
Shinsuke Nakamura and Jinder Mahal. So I think I even picked Jinder Mahal to win this one, but I'm still disappointed that I was right. In the end.
You know, you nailed it. You nailed it when they said, you get out of here. I was just like, fuck. And then I thought he was literally going to roll him up right there. Low blow, roll up. I thought it.
Well, he had the pin, basically, and then obviously the ref comes. He grabs the rope right at the last second. And then, I don't know, man, his knee hits the corner, hits his Kalas, and, pins him again. I guess
clean.
People are saying clean, but I mean, he got distracted. He had him pinned. The ref wasn't there, so it's kind of like clean, but I guess put an asterisk beside it.
But he didn't pin him. Shinsuke didn't pin him.
But they're saying that he had enough time to gather himself to grab the rope. To be alert.
True.
But the way you look at it, Jinder beat him, and to me, it's disappointing because they could have done it another way. I feel like they've now turned Shinsuke Nakamura from being immortal to being very mortal. And honestly, Jinder Mahal's 3-man band. Obviously, he's been built up. He's a lot stronger. But
you could hear that, eh?
We can hear your children.
Sorry, we're recording at home. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But sorry, everybody. That's my kid crying in the back. So, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, maybe you should stop hitting him. He might. He'll remember this.
Yeah.
But so we have Nakamura losing again to Jinder Mahal, and again, boom. I really don't know what to say about this. I'm assuming at this point the feud's over, or they'll go into the Survivor Series match. Maybe that'll be it.
Yeah.
He'll be part of the Survivor Series match. That way he can hold on to the title for another month, and then go to India with the title. Because I think that's the whole thing with this whole India experiment. So I would think Jinder Mahal will probably end up losing the title by Royal Rumble, most likely. I really hope not WrestleMania. That would blow my mind if he makes it all the way there.
Yeah. Whoa, those kids are crying.
He is also not happy if Jinder Mahal would make it.
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
The thing with Jinder going to Mania is that he's had the title. I think it's 5 months at this point. To see him go to Mania with it, I could see how it could be good in the sense that he's going to lose it at Mania.
And it would be a big deal because he's had it for so long. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
For this match in particular, do I like to see Shinsuke Nakamura lose? No. Do I like to see him lose to Jinder Mahal? Not at all. Do I like to see Jinder Mahal get a clean win? On anybody? Yes. He needed this.
I like to see him get clean wins, and I like to see him not have to rely on the Singh brothers, but I still feel like he didn't. I don't. The fact
I know what you
that they were involved, the fact that they were being kicked out, and it was kind of a questionable, he might have had him, and then, I don't know.
But from that event to the event of him winning was a long enough period for Shinsuke to collect himself and to be more focused. It's as clean as you're going to get a Jinder Mahal win.
Yeah.
It's his cleanest win. And just to see him have that, it adds that little bit of credibility. We didn't get it with Kevin Owens. We didn't get almost any clean wins with Kevin Owens as Universal. We got almost no clean wins with Seth Rollins as WWE champion. So it's just nice to see a heel get somewhat of a clean win.
I think for me the most frustrating thing is I'm ready to buy into Jinder Mahal, but they're not using him right. So the thing is, he comes out every week, he does this really terrible, boring promo. It's usually the worst segment of SmackDown.
Easily.
He did the same thing one week, everyone said it was terrible, and he did it 3 more weeks in a row. So I would be down if he just said, you know what, screw this, and he beat the crap out of his Singh brothers, and he was just an awesome Indian-Canadian wrestler who, was just kind of could be funny or it could be really vicious. I hate that they're just let's do the stereotypical immigrant talking about you don't appreciate me and you don't give me respect, India, blah, 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 Punjabi. I don't know. I just feel like they're really kind of putting him in that mold that they've been using for years. he's kind of, to me, feels like, I remember he's kind of like the current, like when JBL was champion on SmackDown. You're like, what the fuck is JBL doing as champion? I feel like Jinder Mahal is, what the fuck is Jinder Mahal doing as champion right now? And JBL kind of built himself credibility, and I guess, a little bit of, kind of an aspect where you can believe. I'm hoping Jinder Mahal will get to that point as well. But if he comes out for the next month doing these Jinder Mahal segments with the Singh brothers, and he talks in Punjabi, and nobody fucking cares what he has to say, I just really getting sick of it, man. I get it. I get the whole India thing, but come on, man. Nobody wants to see this guy with the title, and people are pissed off. And Shinsuke Nakamura was money. They brought him in. Such a big investment. He got one of the biggest pops at NXT TakeOver when he fought Sami Zayn. He couldn't be defeated, and now he's being defeated by Jinder Mahal, by a Colossus. Have him kick out of the Colossus, maybe get a second one done on him. Like, why do you have to make him lose so quickly? Didn't make sense. Anyways, we'll see what happens. I'm assuming this will lead to some kind of Survivor Series team matchup. You'll have Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Jinder Mahal, AJ Styles, Shane McMahon, Nakamura, maybe Ty Dillinger on there, Baron Corbin. There you go. I just put the teams together for you guys.
You know what? It's a cop-out that they do this in Survivor Series now. I remember Survivor Series, you had to survive. So they would always have the, 4 versus 4 matches, but then the WWE Championship would still be determined in some sort of a survival-esque match, but just between two guys. And they should not... All the titles should still be on the pay-per-views. I don't think that's a cop-out. I agree with you. Jinder Mahal needs to drop this type of heel. He needs to still stay a heel, be villainous, but it doesn't have to be about his race. Drop the Punjabi crap. I think he's got enough heel heat now to be able to do it. I mean, he just defeated Shinsuke Nakamura cleanly, and I'm putting up the little quote things. So I think he should be able to use that to fuel phase 2 of Jinder Mahal's title reign. That's just me. It needs to evolve. And I think, like you said, you would buy into him if he could evolve and be something more than he's been, because it's just been so repetitive.
Yeah, he's like a paper champion. It's like he opened up the How to Be a Heel Champion 101 back in like whatever year it was, where they would follow the same recipe. Like I liked Seth Rollins when he was like a coward but funny, but also he fucking wrestled and could deliver in the ring, and he always find a sneaky way, and he was really entertaining. And I think Jinder Mahal is just like, I don't know, I don't even understand what is this moveset aside from the Colossus, which isn't even that impressive.
Yeah, he nailed like a torpedo dropkick, and Shinsuke was on his knees. That was cool. That's pretty much it. Everything else was meh. I mean, it was one of his better matches, but still not much happened. Like Shinsuke really drove that match. So. Oh,
and Jinder is like a stallion. He's like a massive beast. He's so big. I never realized when he was in 3MB, because they were all tall. Well, at least Drew McIntyre is. Yeah. But man, he's a beast. These guys jacked. Like they could make this guy a legitimate beast champion. But I just find that the way the way that they're booking him and having him be just this, I don't know, following the stereotypical heel book, and nothing is entertaining what he says, and same thing week after week, and I'm just hoping the next week they might change things up, and they don't. It's like,
I think we're fed up. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's it.
Fed up with Jinder, and if that is their way of building heel heat today, it's not good. Like, they booed Eva Marie not because she had heel heat. First of all, she was a face. They booed her because she's boring, and I think that's why they're booing Jinder Mahal, because he's boring, not because he's a heel. So I think they have to work on it. The dynamic of Jinder Mahal, I'm not giving up on it. I think it could still work. I think this win here could propel him to be phase 2.
Well, where does Jinder go from here? That's a good question.
Who's he going to face next, right? I mean, like you said, Survivor Series could be the cop-out for him. I don't know. Do you have any ideas? I mean, I read rumors, AJ Styles. I read rumors of Bobby Roode, even though it's super early.
I think it's a little too early. I mean, Survivor Series is November 19th, so it's quite a while away. I don't know. I don't know what's going to be going on from here on out. I mean, I think that is the next pay-per-view for SmackDown.
True.
So I don't know. I know. So an interesting fact though, they were actually advertising Jinder Mahal as a 2-time WWE champion going to India. So I don't know if they originally had planned for him to drop the title, or they do plan for him. But not to spoil anything, and it might mean nothing because we've heard this before and completely, change. But maybe Shinsuke will get another match on SmackDown. Maybe AJ Styles will take the match. I wouldn't mind seeing. I don't know. Like I said, I was hearing somebody talk about AJ Styles doing the Rumble, winning the Rumble, and then going to fight Nakamura at WrestleMania, or maybe AJ Styles. I wouldn't mind seeing AJ Styles win the title off Jinder Mahal, eventually turn heel, gets very cocky, and then him and Shinsuke have a match at WrestleMania with Shinsuke winning the Royal Rumble. I could see Shinsuke Nakamura honestly winning that Rumble and maybe finally winning his title at WrestleMania.
That'd be really cool.
Maybe this is what this is all for, So we'll see.
Be a cool way to put it in. So I guess that means there's a ton of questions for Tuesday. This is going to be like the biggest hyped SmackDown in quite a while, almost since the Miz left. I feel like a little bit.
No, definitely. I don't know what's going to happen. There's been rumors about more roster switches. Kevin Owens being advertised on Raw house shows, but now at the time with Sami Zayn getting involved, it wouldn't make sense to put him onto Raw. So
yeah, I can't see that now. Yeah,
I don't know if they'll backtrack him. I don't know if Shane will fire him or throw him onto Raw to keep them separated. But yeah, we'll end up seeing what happens. But again, lots of questions for SmackDown. It's a 2-hour show. Lots going to be jam-packed in there. We're going to see the fallout of so many matches. Hopefully some more Fashion Files, Pulp Fiction. I think they already advertised it for Tuesday. So lots to look forward to. And lots to look forward to on Monday Night Raw coming up this week too. So as always, we'll be hitting you and we'll be going over the results this week.
For sure, man. So I guess that pretty much sums up our fallout. Honestly, it was one of the better pay-per-views, man. I feel pretty good. We got a lot of questions going into Tuesday. We didn't nail our predictions as well. This is probably the worst we've done.
Which is a good thing in no sense.
It's a great thing. It's a great thing. It's about time. Honestly, if I had to grade it, man, I'm giving that thing an A. A minus.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go a B, maybe even a B minus.
Oh come on, not a B minus. Give it a B, a B plus.
I'll give it a B then. No, I'm not gonna give it that plus. I mean, too many matches in between that I wasn't overly satisfied with. And the Shinsuke Nakamura Jinder Mahal was probably the most souring match for me. I was very upset with the ending of that match. I even knew Shinsuke was going to lose, but at the same time, I was hoping A, I'd be wrong, and B, the way they did it, not too happy with it, and it definitely dropped it down a grade for me, just alone with that.
All right, there you go. Well, another great week in the bag. Well, great week. Great pay-per-view in the bag.
Not much left to be said, folks. Make sure to join us this week as we go over more wrestling results with you. But first, make sure to follow us on social media @_Talkamania and on YouTube. And let us know what you think, how you feel, what you want us to talk about, and we'll hit you up next time. For now, keep it real.
Take it easy.